Good afternoon, MIT Sloan alumni. Yeah. It is your last seated event of MIT Sloan Reunion, although I know many of you are joining us at C Function afterwards. Yes? Great. A few brief housekeeping and announcements. The first is, if you didn't register for C Function, please go anyway. Please be kind to my team. We have had a lot of registrations. So as an average year for MIT Sloan Reunion, we have 1,500 people attend. The highest year we've ever had is 1,800 people, and this year we have 3,100 people registered. It's amazing. We're so excited you're here. And E62 has not physically grown in the past 6 months. So we might make you wait a little bit if you're not registered, but we will get you in as quickly as possible. Please join us for C Function. The second housekeeping piece, there is a phone that might have seen better days. It's very smashed with a purple case right up here. My colleague Marty is holding it up. If it is yours, please come down and claim it. Finally, I'm Lauren Watchkin. I'm the Director of Alumni Experience here at MIT Sloan. I started in November 2019, and then you all know what happened. So this is the first reunion me and my colleagues have seen in person, and we're so happy you're here. And we're so happy you decided to end your day here at Beaver Tank. So it is my pleasure to introduce our two hosts today, Pereg and Jenny Larios Berlin. Pereg, MBA 17, is an alum and Sloan significant other who is a former CEO and co-founder of a Delta V startup and currently an entrepreneur who is working to build the ESG practice at Deloitte. And our second host, Jenny Larios Berlin, MCP 14, MBA 15. We love a dual degree. She's an alum and entrepreneur who recently returned to campus after having her company acquired and is now giving back to the community that supported her development. So I've been hearing about Beaver Tank since I started in November 2019 and having real FOMO and missing out and never seeing it before. So I'm excited to be here. You all know Bill Aulette. He sends his best. He was unable to join us, and he chose these two fantastic alumni to lead us today. So please join me in welcoming them.
I think we've leveled up, right? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? I think we've leveled up, right? 2 women leading this showcase this year. I think that's huge. I want to celebrate that. And also, I want to celebrate that we are here. We are here together and in person. If you look to your left, if you look to your right, if you look up, if you look down, we are together in community celebrating. So I want to take a moment to be present and to be grateful. So get up with me, get up with me, get up with me. Shake your hands, shake your hands. Okay, now together with these hands, we're gonna open our baggage. Pretend you have a bag, and that's our baggage. And in that bag, you're gonna put the fears of the last 2 years in that bag. You're gonna put the anger of the last 2 years in that bag. You're gonna put all your stressors in that bag, okay? And then you're gonna turn that bag into a ball, and we are gonna get rid of it, guys. Let's get rid of all that baggage. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yes, yes. Welcome to Beaver Tank. Take her away.
And indeed, here we are. And how appropriate it is wrapping up the seated portion of Reunion in a celebration of entrepreneurship after all the time of challenge, because entrepreneurship is about challenge. It's about seeing problems and seeing the solution. It's about recognizing complexities and decomplexifying them. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about problems like burnout, about complexities such as making software work with FDA, so medical devices actually work. And we're going to talk about eating earth-cleaning pancakes and enjoying meals feels like from your grandmother, but when she's 3,000 miles away.
So this is just a sampling of our community who are bringing amazing ideas to life, and in very practical ways, we are living out the mission, right? That mission that's in E62 that tells us to be principled, innovative leaders who improve the world. And in doing so, we get to create ideas that advance management practice. So I'm excited to celebrate these entrepreneurs with you. Because you see, at the Martin Trust Center, we are about building. We are about building a community of support. We are about building a heart that can handle the trials and turbulations of entrepreneurship. And we're also about building skills that can help you be entrepreneurially minded. All of us can be innovators. All of us can be creative problem solvers that have a positive impact in the world, so that we can turn any problem into an opportunity, right, Bar?
Yeah, and you know, I think some of you, I see many familiar faces, know that me and my team, we spend the better second year of our MBA here in the Trust Center. And what's so amazing about the Trust Center is the type of support and skills you get. So our team, we went to every pitch competition, we took every class, we went from Sandbox to Fuse Delta V. And we didn't only do that, we stored our inventory in this building. And we used the zip car parked outside to do deliveries. And I see some of our first clients in this room. And in the end of this experience, we came to Deloitte and the Trust and say like, hey, so we're not gonna do this startup situation. And you know what they said? They said, good, go find a bigger problem. And it was a terrible idea to start with. But it was all about, this is about you to build. This is about you to grow and now take and do with that whatever you want. And this skill set is something that we all can apply everywhere.
So continuing with that tradition of support, I'm going to tell you about a few initiatives that we've been working at the Martin Trust Center as of late. The first one is Future Founders. I don't know if anybody's heard about the Future Founders program. Any show of hands? Okay. The Future Founders program is basically trying to tackle the problem of the disparity between men professors turning their lab work into businesses and commercializing at scale versus women professors. There's a huge gap. And so we partnered with the School of Engineering to work with 9 women professors to look at what their labs are producing and figure out how to commercialize that technology. And that's just the beginning. The second thing is it's about listening to you and seeing what you're seeing in the field to generate new management ideas. And so we actually launched 2 new courses. One is around entrepreneurial sales, but really it's taking a holistic view into revenue management. And how do we think about the entire product lifecycle to realize revenue? And then the second one is how can we be more measurable and tactical in our entrepreneurship activities for aspiring entrepreneurs. So both of these courses are now launched. And then the third thing is Delta V. Delta V is celebrating 10 years of its anniversary. Come on, guys. 10 years of generating ideas, innovative businesses that just make entrepreneurship accessible. So we've been trying to take a step back and say, what have we learned about this? And one of the things that we've learned is once that bug has hit you, many of these folks, whether they were interns or otherwise, they go on to be serial entrepreneurs.
So we know this event called Beaver Tank, but we actually like to think of it more of a beaver lake. Like, unlike a tank that is an isolated thing, a lake is an interconnected system where a lot of players are connecting, interacting, supporting each other, and they all need to exist to thrive. So we're here in MIT, in the MIT Lake, and we think about you as part of this experience. And we are very excited to introduce you, our entrepreneurs, for you to get to know them, get your inspiration, and see, can you help? Can you support? Do you want to engage? So Jenny, should we know who's in our lake today?
Yes, yes. All right. So we are going to do an activity. This is very much not a spectator sport. We want you to participate, so take those cell phones out. Yes, yes, I am giving you permission to get onto your screens. And this is what you need to do. So join by text. We want to know who's in our lake today. So the first thing you need to do, right, is text MIT Sloan at 2 2s and 3 3s. Super clever, you can do this.
And it's the same number since like 5 years ago. So you'll see the history you have with Paul everywhere.
That's right. So text MIT Sloan 2 2 and 3 3 3. Okay, let's do our first question and let's see how this thing works. All right, all you need to do is to respond to this question, just pick the letter. Yes, all right.
Exactly.
So who is in the audience? Just pick A, B, C, D. You can reply and let's just see what happens. I feel like I wish I had like a little song or something, you know? It's like, da-na-na-na, maybe Jeopardy, figure out, like, can everybody use their cell phones?
Oh,
what do we got? Corporate warriors, all right. I love that. Wow, it's so exciting to kind of watch it move. Okay.
Okay.
So the survey says, Patsy, where did my bar chart go?
I think we have plenty corporate warriors and a pretty good distribution of all the rest.
Yes, yes.
would be a
Well,
nice summary.
we're really glad that we get to know that, because now when you get to hear from our entrepreneurs, you can think, how can what you're doing help them? And how do we, in our ecosystem, in our Beaver Lake, help each other really have a positive impact in the world? So let's go to the next question. So the next question is, with one or two words, your choice, tell us what's on your mind. What's on your mind right now? What is on your mind right now? Is it, I don't know, unicorns? Maybe it's unicorns. Is it rainbows? I don't know. Is it sunshine, because we now have the sun come out? Oh, and did I mention that you can use emojis? Friends, I love it. Function, yes, C function. Is it actually consumption function or cultural function?
Cultural, definitely cultural.
Yeah, okay,
100%
all right,
cultural.
great.
Definitely.
Innovation, food, oh, awesome. I love it. Beer, yes, it is coming, friends, it is coming.
Crypto.
Dinner, yes. Eating, breaking bread, I love it. Wow, wow, it's great. I saw the pandemic, but it was very small, which is great. Pancakes, all right. This is fantastic. Ooh, eggplant. Someone's being really healthy. Ducks. Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right.
Okay, I think everybody's warmed up. How is this pitching gonna work out, Bar?
Well, now that we know how it's gonna work, let me tell you how it's gonna. So we're gonna have 7 amazing founders who are gonna give us a 3-minute pitch. As you know, we're pretty strict with timing, so there will be clapping after 3 minutes. In the end of the pitch, we're not gonna have the Shark Tank giving feedback. Instead, we're gonna have an opportunity to provide feedback like you just did. We're gonna ask you 4 questions. After hearing this pitch, to what extent would you like to engage again? Like, what is that like a 1 thumb, 2 thumbs, 3 thumbs, no thumbs? And then second, and that's an informative question to help our founders. What do you think the company is all about? Right, so this is after 3 minutes, what did you take from? So you're helping our founders to understand the clarity and how did they say what they wanted to say. And then third, if you want to engage, that's your opportunity. If you want to partner, you want to invest, you want to start working further, you have you have a partnership option. That's where you can opt in. And then 4th question will be opportunity to leave your contact if you want to be connected with our founders. Does that make sense? Yes? All right, Jenny, shall we start with our first?
Yes, let's
do it.
Okay, so introducing Jen. As a climate action warrior, Jen started OtherWorld to tackle food waste and accelerate the transition to a plant-based future. The inner kid in Jen wanted to reimagine her favorite childhood breakfast, so she teamed up with some amazing chefs and registered dietitians in the world to create the tastiest, healthiest, and most environmentally friendly pancakes and waffle mixes. Help me welcome Jen. Woo. Woo.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Raise your hand if you like pancakes or waffles.
Yes!
Yes. Raise your hand if you're looking to add more healthy food to your lifestyle.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you're in luck. My company, OtherWorld, has reinvented pancakes and waffles with our plant-based mixes made from superfoods. OtherWorld has created the only vegan mix in the world made from upcycled plants and vegetables. We source upcycled ingredients, the surplus fruits, vegetables, and whole grains that would have otherwise been wasted. So we tackle food waste 1 pancake at a time. Our Just Add Water mixes have 10 full servings of fruits and vegetables, so you can feel great about eating your favorite breakfast. We win on the product attributes that are important to our consumer, such as fruits and vegetables, 0 grams added sugar, high fiber and iron, and most importantly, by being the most tasty pancake you've ever had in your life. 4 pancakes and 3 waffles is equal to 20% your daily value of vegetables, 40% your daily value of fruit, and 30% your daily value of whole grains. OtherWorld mixes meet the needs of 2 consumer segments looking for delicious and healthy options. Consumer segment 1 are millennial parents struggling to feed their kids healthy and convenient meals. Consumer segment 2 are Gen Z and millennials that are looking for food products that are delicious, healthy, and sustainable. We launched our business in December 2021, and we've made substantial progress in our first few months with over $200,000 in revenue, over 7,000 customers, and 99% 5-star reviews.
Yes.
Our team has expertise across strategy, supply chain, and marketing, and we have some of the world's best chefs, like Michelin star chef Dan Giusti and Chop champion Brooke Seam. We built OtherWorld to tackle food waste and help people eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains through sustainably produced food. We plan to expand our offerings across the $35 billion baking mixes and prepared food category into products like brownies, cookies, crackers, and tea cakes. And we plan to expand our distribution across grocery stores and online. We're currently selling our products on our website, eatotherworld.com, on Amazon, on Weight Watchers Marketplace, and in a handful of independent grocery stores. We look forward to scaling our presence across grocery stores this year. We're about to close a pre-seed round of $2 million to scale production and marketing and build our team. And we're looking for a strategic advisor with experience scaling CPG food brands at grocery. Thank you so much. We're OtherWorld. The future of food is here.
Fantastic. Well done, well done. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So, on the first question, if you were the target for this pitch, how interested are you for a second encounter? So you just respond A, B, or C. We got a little bit more time to start collecting, so everybody take out those cell phones. Yeah, exactly. All right, all right. I get it, I get it. Look at that. Wow, really setting the bar for everybody there. Hope you feel it, hope you feel it. Okay, great. Fantastic, this is wonderful feedback. Thank you so much for contributing. Should we go to the next question? All right, in 4 words, describe what Jen's company does. Go ahead. Was it clear to the value proposition? What are they doing? How would you describe it if somebody were to ask you, what was that first pitch you heard about? Food, healthy pancakes. Okay, great. Good, you remember the second product, that's excellent. Delicious, healthy food, yes, that's the vision. This is great. We'll make sure that you get this information so that you have it and you can use it. All right. How would you like to engage with OtherWorld Foods? So if you're interested in funding, recruitment, customers, advising, networking, any of those would be super helpful. How can you help? How can you participate? How can you support the MIT Sloan ecosystem? All right, customers, excellent. What's that website if they want to go?
Eatotherworld.com or Amazon.
Say that again?
Eatotherworld.com.
Eatotherworld.com or Amazon. Our friend Amazon. Okay, great. Please enter your email address if you would like to stay connected to OtherWorld Foods. So we'll give you a little bit of time. We're going to collect this information. If you're willing to share, it'll be your email, and we will share that with Jen. Thank you so much. All right, on to the next.
Moving on to our next entrepreneur, who is the father of 3, soon to be father of two, soon to be three. He is a veteran. He's an engineer. He's married to a veteran who is an engineer. And he is an incredible cook, which won't be that surprising to you after you hear about his company, WoodSpoon. Oren?
Hi, everyone. My name is Oren, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of WoodSpoon, a craft food marketplace for local home chefs. So I'm going to tell you my story. So I'm an Israeli, and there is type of food that I know and love that makes me feel at home. But living in New York City, I just couldn't find those restaurants that deliver in homemade food. But then I've heard of a friend who can make exactly the type of meal my dad, who is the chef in our home, can make. So here I am texting this guy and meeting him in the street and picking up the food I love the most. He makes it, with all the nuances and all the things that I was looking for, and I was very happy. So turns out there are millions of people like me that, looking for great local food from chefs, and this is what WoodSpoon is all about. Because between us, home is where all of us just want to be. It makes me feel good. I love the food. I love the experience. I love everything. And in WoodSpoon, we just figured out a way to do it in scale, fast, and affordable. So we launched about 2 years ago. We are in New York City, New Jersey, Philly, and I will let you in on a little secret. We're just finishing up a pilot in Boston, so we're coming here soon. We are working with more than 500 home chefs and serving thousands of customers on a monthly basis. We are growing our revenues 10x year over year, and we raised $16 million from leading investors and individuals. So my company is a company on a mission. We believe craft food marketplace is the right thing to do. We believe it's the right thing for the community. We believe it's the right thing for local home chefs, and we believe that get people connected over food bring back the culture, and no matter where they are. So I'll ask you to help us with our mission. Spread the word here in Boston if you are here. And like Jen said, the future of food is here. Thank you so much.
All right. Hit it up. What are we feeling? All right. Excellent. So heavy overrepresentation on the 3 thumbs up. Let's move on to the second question. 4 words or less. What is WoodSpoon is all about? Home. Oren, do you agree? Home? All right, home, local food, dream come true. Awesome representation, cloud kitchen. All right, let's move on. Wood. Very good. All right, okay, we have eager engagement here. I think Boston is ready for WoodSpoon based on that. All right, I'll let you finish up with this, and you know the drill. Once this is done, you can put your email if you want to be contacted by Oren and his team. And I will get us started introducing our next founder. So Aaron wrote in his school application that he's going to be a founder. Like, he knew. He didn't necessarily believe in that by the time, but he knew that this is what he wanted to do. It took him 4 almosts, too early, too late, not exactly fit, to find his dream founder in energy venture and start the company that we're going to hear about today. Aaron?
Take a walk across the MIT campus or Boston or any major city across the US, and a common design feature that you will see across all new buildings is stories and stories of glass. And while we love windows in our buildings and in our homes, they're simply thermal weak points in any system. This is a thermal scan of a building, and what you can see is that the windows are less insulating than the walls. But what you might not know is that 30 to 40% of the energy that goes into your home, so that's your heating bill or your AC, is actually lost through your windows. In the US, that's $40 billion a year of energy, 5% of all CO2 emissions in the US. A typical window today goes pane of glass, gap filled with argon, and then a pane of glass. My name is Aaron. I'm VP Operations and co-founder at AeroShield Materials, where we are making super insulating, transparent inserts that can drop into the traditional double pane window manufacturing process to turn them into high performance, energy efficient products. How is this possible? It's actually based on research that was done here at MIT by our co-founder and CEO, Dr. Elise Strobach. AeroShield is the culmination of years of research into silicate aerogels. Aerogels are a class of material that's been used by places like NASA to insulate spacecraft because they are some of the most thermally insulating materials ever created. They're super light, they're fire resistant, but they've always been blue. For the first time ever, AeroShield is manufacturing aerogels that are transparent. Just 3 millimeters of our material dropped inside a double pane window can create a product that is 50% more energy efficient. Your only alternative today is a triple pane window, and AeroShield can be thinner, lighter, and less expensive. We believe that our material has significant potential, and that the best way to bring it to market is to work with existing window and glass manufacturers. And in talking to them, we've learned that now is the best time to do this because window and building codes are getting stricter in both the US and the EU. In 2024, double panes probably won't cut it. These companies need new technologies. And AeroShield recently hit a major manufacturing milestone where we're able to make the industry standard test sizes. We're working with some of the world's largest window and glass manufacturers to go through testing and get certifications that will allow us to make pilot products within the next year and a half. We believe that our initial market, our beachhead market, is the North American triple pane market, which is $1 billion a year. And then expanding into the addressable energy efficient window market, which is $13 billion globally. Before we expand into other potential markets as well. AeroShield is led, as I mentioned, by one of the inventors of the material, Dr. Elise Strobach, Dr. Kyle Wilkie, also from MIT, PhD, and then myself in LGO 2020. We've raised $3.5 million in non-dilutive funding, and we are incredibly excited about the potential to save homeowners money while reducing CO2 emissions. If you are someone who has experience in B2B marketing, sales, or partnerships, you're an engineer, or you know a chemist, we would love to hear from them. Thank you very much.
All right. You know the drill. We're all getting quicker here. Check it out, Aaron. Excellent. And you know, the next question, 4 words or less. What is the company you just heard about? What are you taking from this pitch? Save money, save planet. Might be a new tagline. More words. Ah. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Efficient window insert. Film. Sustainable windows. Great. Long horizon. All right, Aaron, are you proving these messages? These are future taglines. Excellent. And then lastly, engagement. Would you want to get in touch? In what capacity? Is that blocked again? Okay, that's fine. All right, so I guess only Aaron will know who won to be engaged in what capacity, as we seem to have a bit of a flip over here, but it will be sent to you. So please move on to the next and enter your email if you want Aaron's team to be engaged with you. And Jenny, I'll leave it to you.
All right. Great. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Erez. So Erez comes from a long line of doctors in his family. And he came to the US to do something super healthy, which is play football for Alabama. And once he stayed here, he just could not leave. He wanted to stay and went on to still stay in the medical field, where he went on to be the head of AI at Amgen. And he saw a lot while he was there. He took the experience, he took what he saw, and then he said, you know what? There's a business idea here. And so he's come full circle to his medical roots as he is helping companies needing FDA approval expedite that process. Amazing. Tell us more.
Is this on? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So before I start, my company, it's a little difficult sometimes, so I was always interested. Does anyone here work in the pharmaceutical, biopharmaceutical, or medical device space? Show of hands. Perfect. You should all talk to me afterwards. I can change the way you develop software. So I'll start by saying my name is Erez. I'm the founder of CEO in Ketrix, and we're a company on a mission to make software safe and reliable. Today I'm going to share with you 3 facts about the world, and hopefully by the time this is over, you'll agree with me about those facts. So I'll start with the first fact, is that software is transforming healthcare and life science. And software is transforming healthcare and life science in the home, where automated diagnostics and remote monitoring and a lot of other tools are used to treat and diagnose patients. Software is changing healthcare in the hospital, where machine learning, data-driven methods, and a lot of other kind of less cool software is being used to really help doctors make decisions and treat patients. Lastly, software, which is kind of more where I came from originally, is being used to really revolutionize how biopharmaceuticals are manufactured, but also pharmaceuticals and medical devices. And if you ever want to talk about that, I love talking about that subject, so I could talk about it forever. The second fact I'm going to share with you is that value in healthcare is regulated. And we're all very, very happy that value in healthcare is regulated. The first thing is that if your product or software is used to treat and diagnose patients, it is regulated. This is directly from the FDA website. The second thing is that if your product or software is intended to affect the structure of the human body in any way, shape, or form, it is regulated by the FDA. The third thing is if your software or product is used as part of a regulated process to create drugs, to create devices, to manufacture them, to ship them, it is very regulated. And the third fact I'm going to share with you is developing regulated software is really, really, really hard. I don't know if anyone has developed computer systems validation-based systems. It is extremely strenuous, and it does not fit in the way people develop web-based software today. And I kind of came into this issue while working at Amgen, saw the huge challenges we had, and then during my time in MIT, went to talk to about 100 to 200 customers in this space and saw that everybody is facing the same issues I saw. And me and a few friends, some from MIT, some from previous companies, kind of around the globe actually, decided to go solve this by developing a totally new way to build software, which is on one hand based on the way people develop software today, and if you have an existing software system, it's very easy to port it to this. But this is based, instead of speed, it is based on safety and reliability of software, which we all in medicine hope all software is developed like. It's very simple to use. Within about 2 minutes, we can generate an entire FDA-compliant software development infrastructure and allow your company to go through their routine design and development processes. And at the end, if they follow the way we kind of suggest doing things, you can generate your FDA submission and submit it to the FDA, whether that's internally as a pharmaceutical company or as a medical device company to get pre-market approval. That's kind of it. It's very simple. We have customers kind of at the top companies in the world, and I'm very, very happy to be here and share with you. And if you work in the biopharmaceutical medical device industry, come talk to me. I'll be around. Thank you.
That's pretty amazing. When I first moved up to the Boston area, one of my friends, she was working for Genzyme, and she was in the R&D lab. And she would tell me about the processing, the validation, just all of this complexity. Really, really exciting stuff that we're hearing about here. So if you were the target for this pitch, how interested are you for second encounter? Second encounter as a customer, second encounter as an advisor, second encounter as an investor. We'll get to see a little bit of which way you're interested in engaging. And for those folks that are super curious in terms of how this works, make sure that you follow up with Erez. I think there's a lot of opportunity for learning here, especially here being in Kendall. I mean, it's the heart of biotech. Wonderful. Okay, great. Getting ready to move to the next question then. So if you remember, in 4 words, describe what the company does. So if somebody were to ask you immediately, go. What does Erez's company does? And oh, do you remember the name? What was the name? There you go. Good, good. Safe healthcare software, yes. Yeah. Compliant. Oh, there we go. That's what the C stood for, people. The C, compliant medical software. It is highly regulated. It is pretty intense industry. Software development optimization. Great, good. All right. So next question. How would you like to engage with Ketrix? All right. Excellent. Make sure you talk as soon as this. Customers. OK. No. Fake me out on the customer side. Never mind. Oh, there we go. I know you're starting to do a lot of pilots, working with customers, proof of concept, so forth. So there's a lot of opportunity, too, to get into this place where you can give feedback so that there can be a fast, iterative process to improving the product and being a part of that story. OK, excellent. So let's go to the next one. And this is one where if you'd want to get connected, this is the best way to do it. Send your information in, and we will make sure that Erez gets it. Thanks. On to the next.
All right. So, introducing Frank. And I love Frank's story because when he was in Sloan, he was too scared to start a company. He was so scared to join a company. So it took him a few years to actually join a startup. And he started his first company 13 years after leaving Sloan. Now he's here to introduce a company he started 17 years after starting Sloan. How cool is that? Frank, come and tell us about the company. Hello, hello.
Hello? Now we are. Yes. Thanks so much, everybody. Hello, class of 97. So my company is BlueCatBio, and I started BlueCatBio back in 2014 with 2 friends of mine as a bootstrap. No VC presentations, none. Our product, the Blue Washer, gets drug companies better data. So imagine you're a pharma company and you're developing a new drug against, say, liver cancer. First question you have, which ones of the millions of compounds that you have in your library are potentially effective against liver cancer? To find out, you put liver cancer cells into a microtiter plate like these. You add growth medium, and then you let the cells proliferate. Before you can actually test the compounds that you want to test, you got to remove that growth medium. That's what you need our Blue Washer for. The result of your screen is a graph, like up there. On top, you see potentially active compounds. At the bottom, you see those compounds that don't work. Blue Washer data nicely separates the two. Conventional washer data is often inconclusive. Cellular screening like this is the very first step in every billion-dollar drug development project. And that's why the impact of clean blue washer data is huge. Today, most of the big pharmaceutical companies are using our blue washer. We have an installed base of 500 blue washers in 18 countries. How does it work? The blue washer is about this big. It fits on a scientist's benchtop, or it gets integrated into a robotic screening cell. Inside the blue washer, there's a centrifuge. You put your microtiter plate into that centrifuge in such a way that the wells are facing outwards. So as the rotor spins, the centrifugal force pulls the liquid out of the wells, while your liver cancer cells that have grown attached to the bottom of the wells stay put. The reason that gives you so much better data than conventional approaches is that centrifugal evacuation removes more of the growth medium, and it does so more consistently than conventional washers do. So, how can you help? First off, if you have a recent college graduate kid, and I'm talking to you, class of '97, and they have not joined Goldman Sachs, send them to me. Second, we love customer intros. We got our start in drug discovery, but we also sell blue washers into flow cytometry, into clinical diagnostics, and into agrobio. If you work in those fields, or if you know anybody who needs a blue washer, come see me at the C function.
All right, some very clear asks here, if we like. And you're all well trained by now. We get quick feedback, which is good because we need to rush. So really strong 3 thumbs over here. And let's move on. And that's probably like one of the more complicated one. In 4 words, what is this? Next question. I think we need to leave it with that. I think we need to, yeah. Sexy and fun. I think that's. Excellent. And again, because we need to rush, we're gonna move on quickly to. To the next question. Excellent. Ask and you shall receive, Frank. All right, shall we move on while folks are typing their email if they want to engage? Jenny?
Okay, great. Yes, do connect. It's exciting to see how you guys have scaled. Fantastic. Great. All right, well, I think we have Ed, who is coming up next. He has co-founded a company that connects healthy eating to brain power. And as we age, memories are supremely important. So to celebrate and reflect on our journey. So for Ed, he shared with me a little story that he remembers of his time at MIT. And I wanted to share it with you because I think it's particularly funny. So when he was at MIT, it was all about being open to experiences. Well, the experience that he was open to was being on the water polo intramural team. And so he was going, it's like, okay, it's just intramural, let's go play this game. Well, it turns out that the opponent actually had a team member from the US Olympic water polo team. So unfortunately, you got clobbered, but it was an amazing memory. So tell us how your business is helping us take care of our brains and take care of our memories.
Thank you. So I did beat him on the first sprint, but that's only because he wasn't paying any attention. And then after that, it was downhill from there. All right. So, thanks so much. It is a wonderful privilege to speak in front of you today, especially on this occasion where we can be all together And it's very heartwarming, and there are people I haven't seen in many years. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about an idea regarding one of the biggest problems that we'll be facing here in the future. And that is neurodegenerative diseases. And when I say that, I mean Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, Lewy body dementia, and other types of dementias that come with age. And these are growing uncontrollably almost because they don't have any very good treatments. And also the population is aging. And so they have definitely the capacity to collapse many of our major institutions, such as our healthcare and our social systems, and definitely at the family level, right? And that's what they can definitely do. For my own family, my father had Parkinson's disease and Lewy body dementia for about 19 years, and my mother took care of him as his primary caregiver. And there's a lot of love and determination you see out of that, but also these are devastating diseases. And we don't want that on anyone. And I know there are people in this room who probably have family members who've gone through this, and also people, many more, who've seen people who've gone through this. So the good news when it comes to this is that there are things we can do to protect our brain health, and one of those is in nutrition. And in particular, did you know that there are nutritional profiles to consume, or dietary patterns, as we'll call them, that can help people reduce their risk of certain neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's by almost 40 to 50% or more, depending on adherence. One of them is called the MYND diet, M-I-N-D. It was developed at Rush University Medical Center. The thing about nutrition, though, is it's very vast, it's complex, and it takes a little bit of MIT rigor to take care of it, right? And to go through and examine all the evidence and pour through it, build the right libraries that are relevant, and then, of course, interpret the data so that we can make products that are compelling and give people the confidence that they're doing the right thing for their brain nutrition. So that's what Neuro Reserve is. So that is the company I founded. We are nutrition for brain health. And just like the MIT way, right, we're taking the idea and putting the hands to it, right? And that is, we've executed and we've launched our first product, and it's called Relevate. And this is the first nutritional supplement that helps people mimic the MYND diet, that diet I spoke with you about earlier. So, this is a great time, perfect timing for a presentation like this, because we're going to be opening another round of funding. And it's going to be a seed round to help us grow from a sales standpoint, but also to help us develop and launch a new product and some of the clinical work associated with that. So, with that, I just want to leave you with two things, right? One thing is, if you want to take care of your brain, there are things you can do, and nutrition is very important. And think about the Mediterranean and modified Mediterranean diets like the MYND. And the second thing is, if you're interested in learning more about Neuro Reserve and what we're doing there and how we'd like to change the landscape of brain nutrition, then I'd love to speak with you. That would be wonderful. We're looking for help, always in marketing, particularly in this case in retail, and also retail strategy and distribution. So thanks so much.
Excellent. All right. We know the voting here. We have some good numbers here. Let's go to the next one, because I know that we're getting close to time. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll create opportunities. Okay, 4 words. Describe what Ed's company does. Save money, save planet. Different place. I don't know, maybe. Magic pills, there we go. Magic pills is a good one. I know that we want to get to the next one, so if you still want to share that, please send them over, but this is the kicker here. How would you like to engage with Neuro Reserve? Please vote. Even if it doesn't show here, please do vote, because we will share this information with Ed. And also, how do you want to engage? So if you have your contact, you want to share that contact with Ed, please make sure that you send it along as well. Thank you so much. All right.
All right. We're at the last entrepreneur for today. And we're going to invite Lissy. Now, Lissy grew up all around the world. She was born in Detroit, graduated from high school in Thailand. She's a twin. She spent the first half of her career helping startups and Fortune 500 companies scale up and skill up the human side of their businesses. And now she's here to talk about her new company. Lissy?
All right. Can everyone hear me? Being last in this lineup takes some mental fitness, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So I'd like to talk to everyone today about MYNDY, which is personal training for your mind. So mental wellness has been a known issue for decades and has only escalated since the pandemic. Also demonstrated by everyone's stress you put in a magic ball and threw on this stage. Back in 1983, stress was on the cover of Time magazine as one of the #1 issues of our time. But it's 2022 and stress is still on the cover of Time magazine. And so the problem we're looking to solve is the fact that we've never had more tools to manage our mental wellness. Things like sleep applications, trackers, we've got coaches and therapists, but the tools aren't working because stress continues to increase. And so at MYNDY, the question we are looking to answer is how do you work on your mind so that it works for you? Our answer is mental fitness. Mental fitness is a set of behaviors that builds wellness in your mind. These are exercises, kind of like the exercises we do at the gym, that help you over time decrease stress, improve focus, and overall improve the way that you feel every single day. But in the same way you don't get to read a book about yoga and be a yogi, you don't get to show up and decide you want to work on your mind and have it be so. And so there's 4 key elements that you need to work on your mind. The first thing you need is a model for inspiration. Things like HIIT and yoga are things we use in physical fitness, and we need the same for mental fitness. The second is a plan. Are you gonna work out at home or the gym? The third is support. Most of us are tired of working on ourselves by ourselves, and so we need trainers and other people in our fitness class to pressure us into continue to working out even when we are tired. And lastly, we need to see and feel results, because these things motivate us. And MYNDY is here to provide infrastructure for all 4 things that are necessary for mental fitness practice. So what is it? Well, MYNDY is a proprietary, research-backed consumer technology platform that builds daily mental fitness routines to help them actually stick. The first thing we have is a proprietary, research-backed quantitative model that helps you understand the key movements you need to manage your mind and improve it every single day. Think Weight Watchers for your mind. We give you key elements that you need to work out that's really important to make better decisions every day about your brain. The second thing we have are workouts and plans. These are 1 to 10-minute exercises that you can use at home that help you in a fun, engaging, and communal way work out your mind. Think Peloton. The third thing we have is coaching and community. Accountability is really hard. You're all busy, you're all tired, many of you are parents, and we have a human touch that will help celebrate you and support you in your ongoing practice. And lastly, and as we know at Sloan, most importantly, is we need to see and feel results. And so we have quantitative tracking benchmarking that allows you to track yourself over time to maintain that motivation. So today, I'm asking to meet the most talented people you know to join us on the technical side. We're looking for either a technical co-founder and/or a founding engineer to join the team and help us with our V1 technology product. We've been testing over the past 3 years. Our customers are elated, and we need to service more of them and quickly. So thank you, everyone, for your time and grind, and I hope you enjoy C-Function. Let's get to it.
Thank you, Lizzie. That's fantastic. I think it's just so exciting to hear everything that you guys are working on. It's so freaking inspirational. I'm trying to manage my language because there are children present. Yeah, if you were interested, how interested are you in a second encounter? And I think that this is really exciting too because Lizzie's company is something that can also be used by employers, right? How are you thinking about your employee base and what tools are you giving them from a benefits perspective to make them know that you are thinking about them as a whole person? That's been a big thing in terms of the future of work and how people are thinking about engaging with employees. Let's go to the next question now. Words. What are the words that you would use to describe Lizzie's company? Something about the brain, something about the health, what? Mental fitness. Okay, great. Keep throwing those in, because remember, we will collect this information. It is getting received somewhere in the ether. And then let's go to the next question, which is your question, which is how can people engage with you to get some recruiting done and some talent? You're looking for some super technical talent. I think we can find some of that here at MIT. I think, right? So if you know anybody, if you can refer to maybe some great headhunters as well, that's another way when we're talking about recruiting that you can get involved. So would love for you guys to help there for sure. And if folks want to download the app or get connected, what do they need to do?
Either email me or mindy.co.
Mindy.co, guys, mindy.co, because I saw a lot of customers there. So let's get you some customers. All right, if you're interested in engaging, please submit your information. Okay. Bar, I think that's it. Wow, okay, guys, we made it. So just want to thank you so much for sharing this moment. I hope you had as great of an experience as we did sharing this time with you. And I just want to send a quick shout out because Patsy, who has been in the background and is actually in the booth right now, has been coordinating all this stuff. I want to send shout outs. You rock! Thank you so much for herding us cats. And finally, one last call to action for you. If you guys are interested in continuing to stay engaged with the Martin Trust Center, please scan this QR code and fill out an interest survey. As I said, for us, it's about creating a community where you are giving back to the students and then the students are giving back to you. So if you're interested in staying connected in that way, take a pic of this QR code, fill out that survey, and welcome back. Okay, let's go see function! Woo!